Twin Cities Live. Okay, got a quiz for you. Ready? What do Paris Hilton, Pam Anderson, and Kim Kardashian all have in common?
Dancing with the Stars.
No, they all have sex tapes.
Oh,
is that in common
Paris
too?
Hilton wasn't on Dancing with the Stars.
No. Well, there's a little bit of a disturbing trend that having a sex tape may no longer be considered a terrible career move. So we asked some pop culture junkies what they think of those infamous sex tapes. Take a look.
Come on.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
I'm sick of it. I think it's too much. I mean, who cares? I think everyone sees it. It's been a very easy way to get the fame and fortune that you want, but I also think it's disgusting.
It's always seeming to be the same ones, too. Paris Hilton always shows up. The people whose careers are going like this, the tape making is going like this, and mine's available on iTunes next week.
That's how Kim Kardashian got famous. This is how Paris Hilton, those two gals really started it. I mean, there's Pamela, and then the first one we can blame, it goes back to Paris.
I think it's really sad that this is the only way people think they can get some attention. Like, okay, I don't have a good career. How about I just get naked? Go, oops, oh no, I didn't know the tape is rolling.
I personally don't think it's the way to get fame. I think it's kind of disgusting, actually.
I agree.
They always agree.
Yeah.
Hey, we brought in some people to talk about these sex tapes. First up, you hear her every weekday afternoon from My Talk 107.1. Colleen Cruz is here. And she's known as the fairy godmother, author, and sex expert. Terry Thomason, and finally married for 47 years, author of His Needs, Her Needs, Building an Affair-Proof Marriage, Dr. Bill Harley.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Oh, you bet.
Okay, so, I mean, really catapults you into fame, right? Sex tapes?
Does it really? I think that's so 1998.
Really?
Don't you think?
You think I'm dated in this
No,
assessment?
I mean, it's not like the whole Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton. I mean, it's just, it seems like it's the new narcissism. It doesn't, who's watching these tapes?
Oh, but I don't know if it's the new narcissism or if it's just that porn sells. There's a whole visual aspect that I think that happens that's intriguing to lots of people when it comes to sex. And since most porn movies don't have plots anyway, what's the difference between a reality?
No, I disagree. And you're not watching the right stuff, Fairy Godmother. No, if I'm going to see nudity, on-screen nudity, I want production value. I want, makeup. I want lights. I want a storyline. I want an R-rated movie.
Paris
That's what I want.
Paris Hilton's movies brought in $20 million.
Did it really?
$20 million.
Who is watching
Kim
this?
Kardashian made $5 million, just hers, on her sex tape. And, I wonder if it's sort of like the same trend that we see in regular television where reality TV is such a trend. And so when it comes to porn, reality porn is the new trend. What do you think? Anybody?
Or that, that if a person is become a celebrity, then if there is a sex tape for that person, you're going to find a big audience to buy it. I don't know that it's a great career move to have a sex tape. But if you've already made it as a celebrity, the sex tape is going to sell.
Well, I saw a Nightline report just the other night that talks about this very issue, and it was talking about the fact that Chelsea Handler, for instance, is somebody who's a comedian who has done very well on her own, but has opened herself up to a whole new audience. And that this point was made on Nightline because of the fact that she has this sex tape out. So it expands her career. You have to have something to start with. If you're a complete unknown, like Kim Kardashian was almost that.
Yeah.
But she was Paris Hilton's friend at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
That was her hook. And her
Dubious.
real fame came from the tape.
Well, but Chelsea Handler came out and said that sex tape that she had was part of a bit. I mean,
Right.
it was definitely, it was part of an audition reel. So, I mean, it was just...
And she
it
had
was a
made fun of
joke.
it. She handled it about as well as any celebrity has handled a sex tape.
Yeah.
Well, there's no doubt that there is a huge market in this world for visually arousing tapes. And Colleen, you made a perfect point because studies always say that men are mostly visually aroused and women are romantically aroused. So you wanting to see a romantic or a racy, hot, R-rated movie makes perfect sense gender-wise.
Robert Downey Jr., he doesn't even have to take his clothes off.
Colleen's looking for You Got Mail.
My problem with sex tapes has to do with teenage girls
Okay.
who are influenced by this sort of thing. Their boyfriends tell them that it'd be a great idea for them to have one of these. Sometimes they're motivated by wanting to do something that their boyfriend wants to do. And they see it, they have this tape, and almost to the girl, they end up regretting it.
Absolutely.
Well, sex and passion are intoxicating, but making a sex tape is an awful lot like making a really bad decision when you're drunk.
Yeah.
And so I think that really plays to that.
I've counseled teenage girls. One girl as young as 14 that did one of these. She just about committed suicide over the whole thing.
Because it got out? Did it get out
throughout
in the school?
Yeah. I mean, everybody in the school
Which is
got
distribution of child pornography.
And,
Once
and
people
she
have
had to
seen
leave
it.
the school. Her parents were even thinking about leaving the state as a result. So it's, for every one person that you might find whose career is enhanced by this sort of thing, from my perspective as a psychologist, you have thousands of girls who regret it the rest of their lives.
Okay, well, that's a generational thing, and here's where I'm talking about the new narcissism. It's easier than ever for these kids to take pictures and videos of one another, and when they become and when they become sexual, there's the danger. And I think that a lot of times girls are talked into it. However, a lot of times, what is valued? So if we're valuing Kim Kardashian, or it's shown that Kim Kardashian gets value or money out of this, then, of course, an anonymous 14, 15-year-old girl, when approached in that manner, the Kardashians is a huge show. That's the absurdity of it.
Is it not clear at this point that, and because we are seeing so many, I think that the reason why we are seeing so many now is very clear. It is that some people see this as their ticket to fame and fortune. And most of them are seeing those benefits coming their way.
Well, they're cashing in. They're making tons of money. And I think that's the other thing of where it gets to be such mixed messages for young girls in particular is when you're going, okay, these, like Kendra Wilkinson, for example, oh my gosh, I'm horrified. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, having a sex tape out. P.S. I'm getting my $600,000 initial check and 50% of the sales. And so it's like really mixed for girls who see these celebrities.
Well, and it's not mostly A-list celebrities. What it is, you're seeing a lot of reality television people trying to extend their 15 minutes of fame.
This is just the porn industry moving into, creeping into mainstream in terms of marketing and what sells, because this is a huge industry anyway.
Right.
And so this just moves it, creeps it into it, saying this is going to be this is going to make it more acceptable.
Yeah, I think the message, though, that has to be somehow revealed to girls is never, ever let anybody tape you in a compromising position, because your boyfriend isn't going to be your boyfriend a year from now. And even while he is your boyfriend, he's going to be passing it out to all his friends.
Right.
And 20 years from now, when you're married and you have kids, you don't want your kids to be seeing this tape that was made of you at a time that you were innocent and very vulnerable. If you just tell girls, do not ever allow yourself to be photographed, and certainly don't photograph yourself.
Right. I think you're right. I really think parents need to have that message to their kids that it is like zero tolerance, no photos ever. It's just a terrible idea. Am I right? Anybody?
Yeah, it's a terrible idea, but it's when this type of technology is so available and so pervasive.
Right.
And your hormones are running the show in a moment of passion. I think that you've got to both say it as a parent, saying you can't do this, but the other piece is you need to say, listen, these are professionals. Your sex tape isn't going to look like that. And maybe that'll be an extra.
It's just going to
way to motivate.
There you go.
For years.
Well, and you know what, that has happened with some of the celebrities as well.
Dustin Diamond, Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
There are no words. There are no words. Thanks a lot, you guys.
Way to wrap it up
much.
on that.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Hey, and we'd love to hear what you have to say. If you have any comments on this, you can just go to our Facebook fan page and tell us what you think. Okay, coming up, the author of Porch Parties creates some tasty drinks.